Philly 500 has something that belongs to me. It's my 60-minute man strap. Now, I got to be honest with you. My son, who didn't get to appreciate that belt, now I think would really love to have that belt back. He's growing into his own little man. And Daddy has a belt out there that's hanging around a geek named Philly 500. It belongs here. And so I'm reaching the olive branch out to Philly 500. Now, I know he's up Mark Holmes' butt, which don't smell good. But if he's able to crawl out of that butthole and come see and talk to PIZZLE, I'd love the opportunity to bring home the most righteous strap of them all, and that's the 60-minute man strap. So tell me what I got to do, Philly 500, to get my hands on that dime piece. There's nothing I want to do on Christmas than to bring it back home. Capiche?
Dallas still stinks. By the way, Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, Nick Sirianni just told me everything I needed to hear. He spilled the beans about it all. He said, this offense is my responsibility. This offense is on me. This offense is my play design. Don't hold Brian Johnson responsible. Hold me. Well, I will hold you responsible, Nick Sirianni. No cannolis for you. Because right now, you're hanging on there by a thread. You are feeling the heat. You look like you're about to implode. But you got to keep this thing together. I watched Hard Knocks last night with the Miami Dolphins. I saw how they reacted to a loss. And I'm fired up. I'm not ready to quit just yet. We may lose in the playoffs. The hell with it. I want to win the last 3 games and win the division. I want to slap these NFC East teams around. The Sharks are swarming. Now, before we get into all of it, I got to say, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit that like button. More importantly, if you like shiny objects on Philly 500 shoulder paws, hit that like button. Hey, yo, PIZZLE. Hey, PIZZLE, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, your wife. Hey, yo, baby doll, why don't you go and make me one of them mayonnaise sandwiches you're always making? They're so good. Tang, 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 tang. Out of the swamp comes Copizzle. He sees the Eagles lose some games. He thinks his team has a chance with Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. I like Danny DeVito, all right? All right, our forefathers hail from the same sunny peninsula, but he wears a Giants helmet. We are not Gumbada. We can't be Gumbada. He wears a Giants helmet. However, I liked him in Taxi. I liked him in It's Always Sunny. I like him even when he played the Penguin in Batman back in the day. I like Danny DeVito, but he ain't coming in and beating Philly, you know. And I see PIZZLE. I see what he's doing. He's out there trying to get his belt back. You guys might remember this thing. The 60-minute man belt. I call it more the 13-second man belt. But here it is. PIZZLE's belt that he lost as the Eagles beat the Giants 3 times last year. And he wanted this thing back. And me, I listened to his initial, video talking about wanting the belt back. And I wasn't really in the mood for betting. I wasn't in really the mood for any of it because of what's been going on with the Eagles. But the combination of Copizzle with his video asking for the belt back and then Mark Holmes' stupidity. This guy's a stunad of the first magnitude. All right? But those things combined with the fact that I'm in a really good mood. It's Wednesday. I've got about 4 or 5 hours of work left. And guess what? I'm done till January 3rd. I'm on vacation. So I feel good. So when I came home for lunch, because I'm having an early lunch today, got to take my daughter to the doctor. But I came home, I went right outside in the backyard. Okay, and you know what I did? I started digging. Now, I'm not a dirt digger like a lot of people with them ugly ass toes that walk around barefoot and their toes are always inverted inwards and down. Those toes and those feet are for digging holes in the ground. I don't do that. I use a shovel. But I dug and I dug and I dug, and out came the belt. Out of the ground. It's been there for months and months. Cleaned it off, and here we are. PIZZLE wants to bet. He wants the belt back, as you heard at the beginning of this video. And I've been thinking about it. PIZZLE needs a timeout because PIZZLE, like many Giants and Giant fans, they're really the Eagles. They're like, I can't even say they're like the Eagles' younger brother. They're more like, if you have a younger brother and he has a friend that's really annoying, that's the New York Giants. That's how I see the Giants. Well below the Philadelphia Eagles. We own them, we beat them all the time, and we're going to beat them on Christmas. And PIZZLE wants his belt back. So he put a bet out, and, basically, he wants it, and he wants me to call the terms. Now, I've been thinking about this. What do I want from Copizzle? What do I want? I got everything I want. I don't need anything. And I thought, all right, I got the perfect bet. PIZZLE, I'll bet you the belt. But what I want is I want all your kids' Christmas gifts that Santa are going to bring. Everything Santa brings, I want it shipped to my house. That's the bet. Get all your kids' stuff on Christmas Day, record it, taking it from them, say Santa gave it to you, but you can't have it no longer, and ship it to me. That's what I want to see. Oh, that would be so good. But I can't do that to the kids. I can't do that. I'm a big fan of Santa Claus. I can't do it. So I'm going to leave the kids alone. I'm going to leave the kids' toys out of it. But I need a good laugh, right? I need a laugh. I don't need a hat. I don't need a jersey. I don't need anything. I need a laugh. And I think it would be pretty funny if PIZZLE got one of them, those ballerina skirts that you put on over your clothes. I'd like to see him get one of those. And I'd like PIZZLE to sing the Fly Eagles Fly song while he's out there doing ballerina moves. He could be doing his little twirly whirlies, his little kick flips, his little leg flops, kicks. And he could, on video, very slowly do his ballerina while he sings Fly Eagles Fly. I think that would be a great video for me to have on file for a very long time and use against him in future cases. It would be a good laugh. Us Eagle fans, we all need a laugh. So that's part of the bet. But remember, this is like a double or nothing bet. So it shouldn't be just, I get this and you get that. I want two things done. All right? I want two things done. So first thing, you got to put the skirt on, little ballerina skirt. Tutu, I don't know what the hell they call it. Do your ballerina moves and do your ballerina dance while slowly singing Fly Eagles Fly. And make sure you do a lot of spins and a lot of kicks and things like that. Make it look beautiful. And then the other thing, since I said the Giants and Danny DeVito are like our little brother's friend. They're little kids, right? Since that's the case, I want PIZZLE also to have to write 300 lines. And the lines have to say, the Eagles are better than the Giants and Dallas still stinks. I want 300 lines handwritten. No copying, no cheating, handwritten. You could show it on the camera very slowly. I might even have them send the lines to me so I can check off and make sure it's properly done. Maybe we'll frame it. And if he does those two things, I'll give him a chance for the belt. He doesn't have to spend money except for maybe his little tutu skirt. Maybe he's already got one, laying around. Maybe when he's making babies, it's his little warm-up. I don't know. But he could do his ballerina moves, his little twirly whirlies, little leg kicks, and I think we're good to go. So that's the bet, PIZZLE. You want the belt back? I want the twirly whirlies. That's right. That's right. So we'll see what PIZZLE thinks, and we'll see his response. But I think that's very, very fair. Now, one other thing I got to say is I feel bad for the Cowboy fans. Well, I don't feel bad for them, but they are really delusional as hell. They're delusional as hell. This team, these people, like Mark Holmes, have you watched any of his videos? They're all Eagle videos. And he's happy. He's giddy in every one of his videos. I enjoy when the Cowboys lose, but on the same week the Eagles lose, I go right back to my Eagles. I have my little moment, and then I go right back to it. Every video is about the Eagles losing. He's making fun of Jalen Hurts for choking up and crying, or not crying, but getting emotional after loss. I'll go to war for a guy like that, a guy that cares that much. That wins me over about Jalen Hurts. That's not a bad thing, but he's laughing at it. They're having a fun. He's talking about the 5th seed. The Eagles are complaining about 5th seed shouldn't get a road game. I disagree. Division winners always should get the home game. I don't care what the wild card record is. But the Eagles aren't. They're not. Listen, I watched Hard Knocks with Miami Dolphins yesterday. And after they lost that game to Tennessee, and the way the coach came out and talked, he got me fired up. I'm like, yes, we can respond. We can do it. Now, I'm probably delusional as hell. Point taken. I know. We'll probably lose in the playoffs, maybe. But maybe, just maybe, we'll get hot. Maybe, just maybe, we'll figure it out. Maybe, just maybe, that they're going to write this year in the history books. Maybe, just maybe. I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to go. I'm telling you what, man. That Mark Holmes attitude and PIZZLE's thing, they got me fired up. I'm not quitting on the season. We're going to win the next 3 games. I don't care if we really don't look like we're going to. But if Nick Sirianni can just hold this thing together, we got a chance. Mark is literally celebrating all week, but his Dallas Cowboys lost. They are walking back. Mark is like leading the sheep, right? All these Cowboy fans, and they're all walking backwards, looking at what happened to the Eagles over there. Meanwhile, there's a giant cliff they're all about to fall off because Dallas is choking. Dallas ain't beating Miami, and they ain't beating Detroit. They're done. They're done. The Eagles will not lose another game this season. And if they lose one in the playoffs, it'll be in San Francisco. That's it. They ain't losing no more. I don't care how delusional that sounds. I don't care. I'm fired up. I'm almost on Christmas break. All right? But I ain't giving up. I ain't quitting. I can't do it. So I had my 2 days to moan and cry and bitch. I'm done with it now. I'm done with it. Mark Holmes is leading you Cowboy fans off a cliff, and you don't even know it. Good luck. All right, so I had to get this stuff out today. This had to be done. This was long overdue, but there is a few Eagle things I do want to talk about. First thing, Landon Dickerson. He's going to miss at least 1 game after undergoing surgery on his thumb. He won't be put on IR. He'll be back soon. I think we can weather the storm against Danny DeVito and the New York Giants. But it's just another injury, another thing that we have to overcome, and it is what it is, man. If this team and the Eagles, if they can just hold it together long enough, they could just hold it together. See, I'm afraid that the whole thing is going to come loose. You see all the videos and you see everything that's going on with A.J. Brown going at it. I think he went out with L.B., man, of all people. Why? But he's frustrated. The Eagles are frustrated, and they just got to hold it together. If this team can hold it together and get a win, take it all out on the Giants this coming week. But if they can just hold it together, then maybe we can right this ship, okay? Second, Nick Sirianni, you just told me everything I needed to hear. Nick Sirianni's press conference worried me today. I feel like he's feeling the heat, and I'm worried that he could collapse. And this is what I'm worried about. Just hearing him, his frustration in the press conference, you could tell. And to me, I'm not blaming Brian Johnson anymore. I'm done. He ain't doing it. I will not blame Brian Johnson for Nick Sirianni's faults. Nick Sirianni said this. He said, this is my offense. And so the criticism on the offense, I think, unfairly goes to Brian. Brian calls the plays, but it unfairly goes to Brian. The criticism on the offense should come to me because this is my offense. Your offense, your plays, your scheme, it stinks. It stinks. It stunk when we started, 2-5 a few years ago, and then it stinks this year. You need to relinquish your play calling and your scheme and let Brian Johnson put his offense out there because this ain't working. And everybody's frustrated. Everybody knows. And so, to me, Nick Sirianni just let Brian Johnson, as far as I'm concerned, off the hook. Off the hook. Now, they might have to replace Brian Johnson anyways because they need to get a guy like Frank Reich in here, somebody with some experience that can weather these storms that Nick can't. But to me, the biggest deal right now for the Eagles is to hold this thing together in the locker room. Don't let things spill over. Minimize that. Minimize attacks, pointing fingers, and then just get to it and take it out on the New York Giants on Christmas Day. All right? That's what you have to do. But Nick Sirianni just told me everything I needed to hear. And that's it. And it's on Nick. First and foremost, this is on Nick Sirianni. And that's just the way it has to be. But, listen, the Eagles win 3 games, they win the division. If Dallas could beat Detroit, which they probably can't, but Detroit loses 1 more, we can get that 2nd seed back. No chance at the 1st seed at this point. But the 2nd seed is still a very viable way. I don't believe the Eagles are just lucky to be 10-4. And I don't believe they were lucky to go 10-1. And I don't believe they were lucky to have 31 straight weeks of being in first place. They just got to get back. They need a win. A win would go a long way into helping this team to kind of get it going again. We've got to stop the bleeding, but we also need to take all our frustration out on the New York Giants. We need, and I expect, an absolute blowout. With that said, take care. I will see you guys tomorrow, and when I do, I am going to be a man that doesn't have to go to work and got to sleep in. Take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it.
A lot of people are saying I'm messing up the karma for the Cowboys because I've been going after the Eagles and things. And why are you so mean to Philly? Leave Philly alone! Leave him alone! Isn't he not human? He has feelings! Leave Philly alone! You know, I'm sorry. This is just so much fun. I am disappointed. I am saddened. But somehow in the back of my mind, being a Dallas Cowboy fan for as long as I have been, somehow I felt like this shit was coming. I felt like this was one of those times that we had the big win last week. They're talking high about us. And that's what always scares me is we can't seem to, when the focus is they think the Dallas Cowboys have arrived, it's unfortunately when we seem to fail. Oh, God, no. I want to be like the Eagles.